Subways are pretty cool and are by far my favorite mode of transport, just behind planes, cars, roller coasters, and blimps. The best part of subways are all the crazy and unusual people you encounter. I don't know what it is about subways, but it brings together all manner of interesting, crazy, and overall weird people. First of all, there's the Simpleton, who somehow in this day and age has no idea how the subway works. They can't buy a ticket. They can't work the turnstiles. Ugh. My favorite mistake people make is, when the train pulls in, they seem to choose a set of doors to enter and then chase after them, rather than waiting for the train to come to a complete stop. And that's before you even get on the train, which sometimes can be quite difficult. Especially when some half-wit decides to stand right in front of the doors. I call them the blocker. Ugh, buddy, I just need to... Once you get inside, that's when you see the real weirdos. I don't think I've ever been on a subway train without seeing at least one weirdo. There's the guy who keeps staring at you. There's the guy who has very little clothes on. Ugh. There's the storyteller, who is having a very interesting conversation with someone, except there's no one actually there. And then there's that guy who keeps staring at you. Yep, he's still looking. I'm almost convinced the subway company hired designated crazy people for each train as a way to keep other passengers in check. Think about it. Ain't nobody gonna risk doing anything weird that might draw the attention of a crazy person. Oh, great. Or you'll end up in a long, drawn-out conversation about crazy nonsense like how the moon landing was fake, how the earth is flat, and how penguins are simply chickens who are dressed up in formal attire. The weirdest character by far is the person who looks like a bag. Oh, silly me, that's not a person who looks like a bag, it's an actual bag that is taking a seat away from other more deserving people.
Finally, someone with some manners. It's about time.
Sorry, Granny, you snooze, you lose. Speaking of snooze, I love watching the snoozer. The guy who tries his hardest to stay awake, but we all know he's inevitably gonna fall asleep. Nearly. Almost. Yeah! There's also the nice-looking lady who will kick the hell out of you if you get too close. Luckily, the crazies don't take up all that much space, unlike some other people I know, like the man-spreader. The guy who has his legs so far apart across so many seats, he might as well be performing the splits. And it's made all that much worse when he wears a kilt. Ugh. Luckily, this is pretty rare outside of Scotland. There's also the people who keep finding ways of touching you. Ugh. And then, of course, there's that weird guy who keeps staring at you. And then there's the one that everyone fears. The pusher. The hefty fellow who sees that the train is full but is determined to push his way on. No! The subway can be a very uncomfortable place for some people. None more so than the person who doesn't buy their ticket. You can recognize them from their profuse sweating, paranoid nature, and the fact that they can be scared by even the slightest. Where is your ticket? Ain't I a stinker? I'm always surprised by how many productive people I see on the subway. There's people reading books, people typing on computers, essentially the adult equivalent of the kid who does his homework at the back of the bus on his way to school. There's even people who try to convert you to different religions, such as the Church of Silver John? And then there's the performers, the people who see the brief distance between stops as a means of acquiring a captive audience. Ugh, nobody wants to see that. Well, except maybe that guy. Money? Oh, I don't have any, I mean, oh, this here is my stop. Sorry, maybe next time. Phew, saved by the bell. Wait a second, this isn't my stop. Hey, buddy, I'm trying to get on here. Move your damn butt. Wait, no! No! And then there's the idiot who gets off at the wrong stop and has to wait. 4 hours for the next train. Oh well, at least I'm away from all those weirdos. Bloop.